Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we're talking about Double Fusion. This was the V-Jump promo for this month that was announced a couple weeks ago. We're finally getting it revealed tonight with the full effects and everything. This is a card that Jaden used in the anime, I believe, and it allowed him to basically fuse twice, as the name basically says. So let's take a look at how this card runs, and let's see if it actually has some decent potential here. So, normal spell card, Double Fusion, pay 500 life points as cost to fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. Then you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. Interesting. So basically it's like almost as pure of a double polymerization as you can think. It is all one effect. It is not like separate. In fact, I think this card may have even been a little better if you could if they were two separate effects, the first one was on field and the second one was just banish this card to fuse again, because then you'd be able to fuse something that maybe activates on summon. This way, you're literally fusing something and immediately fusing off with it in most scenarios, I would assume, in which case the monster wouldn't have a chance to activate its effects if it would trigger on summon. But I'm not saying there's nothing here. There are certain generic, not even generic fusions, but certain archetypal fusions. I think about this. This is the kind of card that makes you think about something like Shaddoll, right? Like being able to fuse two materials off, like main deck Shaddoll monsters, into... It doesn't even have to be one of the crazy ones. It can even be one of the mid-level, mid fusions, and then immediately fuse that fusion off with another one. And then you're literally, probably going to, trigger the first two's effects that you use to get resources, and the one you fused off, which adds a card back from grave, as well as probably going into construct at the end to get an additional resource there. Oh, and the third one you send. So the two main deck monsters you start with, the first Shaddoll fusion you're fusing off for the second fuse, and the other monster you're using from hand. Now in that situation, yes, you are going to be utilizing three monsters, which is tough. So it has to be an archetype like Shaddoll that is going to reward you for that in, you know what I mean? You're using three monsters, but you're going to go resource off the fusion, resource off the first, off of each of the first two you fuse with, and of hopefully a third one as well. The other problem with this card is it's not... it doesn't count as polymerization or anything, so there's not a ton of ways to search this super cleanly. There's weird things like the Predaplant Orphoscorpio engine. There's weird ones like that, but nothing consistent and reliable that you would want to play in those types of decks. So you'd probably just be playing hard copies of this card and hoping you draw it, which takes away some value of not being able to get it when you want it. But overall, I don't think it's a terrible card. I mean, Poly has seen play here and there in random decks. I mean, Pranked used to unironically play Polymerization at points. And that's a couple of years ago, but stuff happens, you know what I mean? And we end up playing just straight up Poly sometimes. So I don't know. If you would play Poly, would you consider playing this card instead? It is weird because you don't have to do the second fuse effect too. That's actually something that's pretty important, that even if you don't have three monsters and you only have two, you can just pay 500 and do one fuse, because the second part of the effect is that you can. So that's another small thing there, that you don't have to have, you know what I mean, three materials. You could get away with just having one. But yeah, I don't know. I'd have to dig a little deeper, because this is my first time reading it along with you guys, so I don't know off the top of my head what other fusion archetypes. Shaddoll's just the first one that comes to mind, because it just, every card that's used for fusion material in that deck just gets you another card back for the most part. So I don't know off the top of my head what other decks would really appreciate a card like this and be able to actually take advantage of what this card offers. But it's an interesting one. I don't think this is a throwaway card. I do think this is there's a world where this card is just actually pretty good, fitting into the right archetype, of course. So let me know your thoughts there. Are there any other fusion archetypes or situations that you can think of off the top of your head that you're oh, that actually fits pretty perfectly with that new fusion spell? Let me know in the comment section down below, or just your overall opinion on this card as a whole. as far as V-Jump promos go, this one's not too bad. I don't mind it. So there you go. One small little drop tonight. Yeah, we're chugging along with Supreme Darkness. I mean, we're talking probably like 18 days left and still like 45 cards left to go. So we've got a lot of stuff coming in the next couple, 2.5 weeks. Really excited to get that out to you guys. So I'll bring you anything news-wise that drops there, or Terminal World, any of that other stuff. I will bring to you as soon as it drops. So stay tuned for more Yu-Gi-Oh! News stuff and updates. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.